Good morning, it's Jonathan Barrett with the Week Ahead report. That's the week starting the 17th of October and obviously running through to the end of Friday, obviously, which is the 21st of October. Okay, the Week Ahead report, that's the report where we talk about the up-and-coming week, what's due out, how that'll trend, what sort of trends we can see developing, what sort of sagas and what sort of trades we've got on. But before we do that, let's have a little bit of a recap on Friday night's trading. Okay, I guess the most important thing there is obviously what's happening in the EU. We did get quite a little bit of news. Interesting that the EU is said to considering a 50% cut or write-down in Greek debt. Now, that's certainly a bit of a hit there, but it'll certainly relieve quite a lot of pressure out there. Remember, we still wait from Sarkozy and Merkel. We still wait till the end of October for the plan, but the market certainly is getting slightly relieved that things are coming out or the right noises are being made. Remember, one of the important things, I guess, is that we're still getting downgrade concerns, particularly we had Fitch downgraded a few European banks last week, and as a result of that, still a few concerns there. But generally speaking, the right noises are coming out, and as a result of that, markets seem to be relatively steady. So let's have a quick look at where the markets closed on Friday night. Come on, let's show me there. Okay, the Dow basically up 1.45%. S&P was up 1.74%. The Nasdaq was up 1.82%. And there you see some positive closes for the these Euros top 50. That was up 22. FTSE was up 62. The CAC was up 30, and the DAX was up 52. Looking closer, although our market was down at 38, 4,205, the actual futures markets, which is the one that we would look on for a lead on Monday, was relatively okay. It was up 46, reversing those losses during the day, 4,266. Okay, having a quick look at some of the commodities markets, and quite a robust night on commodities, particularly oil. Oil traded through that important 85, 86 level and put on a few dollars after that. And you can see Brent crude was up 3.15%. West Texas slightly higher, up 3.61%. And that's certainly just showing, I guess, that the market's getting a little bit more confident as to what's happening, obviously, in Europe. So that was quite good indeed. The other bits and pieces, heating oil, gas oil, all relatively firm, and also natural gas. Looking at the agriculturals, a strong night across the board there. Big movers and shakers, all up a couple of percent. Cotton up strongly at 101.94. As you can see, it's spending a lot of time around here just trying to find a base. Wheat was up good, up $4.75. 0.77%. Corn did a good night, up just a fraction, and soybeans continues a strong run, up 1% at 12.70. Rough rice also up firm, up 1.34%. Remember the concerns we have in Thailand, Laos concerning the floods, and that's certainly going to hurt some of the production there. We actually feel it'll trim around about 5 million tonnes. 5 million tonnes off the price. Okay, so that's rice, 1662. Copper strong night, up 12.5, 343. We did get those CPI numbers out of China. They were in line with better than expected in terms of seeing that inflation seems to be in check. The numbers were lower than anticipated, so that gives us a good sign that inflation is under control there for the time being. A little bit of information about trade surplus, not trade surplus, the narrowing trade balance on Thursday. There was a little bit of concern there, but you have to expect it when the rest of the world is slowing down. But the good thing is that imports and exports also came lower. Okay, that was the data out of China. It affected copper, obviously, a little bit stronger. There are a few stories flying around copper. Stay tuned to the bulletin on that, because we'll spend a little bit of time on that. Some good stories as well. One certainly having to do with the increase in the power grid in China, which has cost about $45 billion and consume half the copper for the next few years, copper imports. Okay, so that's pretty much on that front. Let's have a quick look at the currencies. Dollar index here, 76.87. You saw that reversal there. Whilst things are looking good, obviously dollar under pressure, and these sorts of things. It is quite interesting because that's an aggressive move higher, and this is just going one way. So obviously the market will breathe, and having to breathe a sigh of relief into the noises coming out of Europe. The question is what they will be and whether the market will enjoy the plan or proposed plan. Okay, have a look at some of the other commodities. Just a quick look at gold. Gold strong night, up $12, 0.77%. Needs to take out 1,700 in order to trade higher. Still stories around. We're having a little bit more of inflationary issues coming about, so that should be quite important. Silver as well, up a bit, 32.15. We've talked about some of the others. Aussie strong, very strong on the Aussie, 103.24, and that's obviously on the back of everything and also the yield. So it'll only turn around when the US decides that's what it'll do. Okay, so that's on that side, and we've talked about that. Let's have a look at the week ahead now, and let's look at the numbers which are due. Next week's all about inflation, by the way, and we've got ZEW index out of Germany. We've got, let's just move on to there. We've got all the data, all the inflation data out of the US, okay? So then expect that number to be a little bit bigger. Okay, there's the numbers out. Industrial production in the States, capacity utilization Monday night. CPI, retail price, RPI in the UK. ZEW survey, we've got producer prices also. And Bernanke speaks, that's on Tuesday. Coming into Wednesday, you can see there's more industrial orders out of Italy. Bank of England minutes. CPI out of the States, that will be the Tier 1 data, and there's a whole lot, the beige book as well. Whole lot of data out on Wednesday night. That'll be the one that will be, which is the major ones, major news. Continuing jobs, and we've got some existing home sales in the States there on a Thursday, and of course leading into Friday, yeah, a little bit of data, but not too much there. So I guess in a nutshell, the next week's all going to be all about inflation. They might see gold trade a little bit higher on the back of that. Remember, the retail sales we had last night was pretty positive, up 1.1%. Market was only expecting up 0.5%, so that in itself was, I think, was quite good. So if anything there, lots of data out, all inflation data, and we'll probably expect to see the recent trend for commodities to trade higher, probably to continue, just purely because we're getting some good noises out of the economy and also out of Europe. But that's it from me from the Week Ahead Report. Hope everyone has a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Happy trading.